Happy July 1st, everybody. We've made it. We have officially arrived into this here 7th month. And for those who may not know, and as a reminder to all of us who already know, 7 is the number of completion. So we're in the midst of a major shift in our environment, our collective and individualistic energy, but hopefully, most importantly, our paradigm. And when I'm talking about paradigm, I'm talking about our mental framework and outlook on life. Thank you for coming in today and joining me on this here 1st of July. As you already know, I am Dr. Shane JC, the doctor of you design. And when I tell you I'm doctor, I'm not just giving myself some title, because there's too many people with titles, but they have no tenets to undergird the title. It's just like wearing a garb with no inner layer to protect you from the inclement weather. So I actually have my credentials, and you can find my credentials social media on my profile. I mentioned, give you a brief summary of my qualifications to know, not so you can be impressed, no, so you can know that when I come to you, I'm delivering not just mere psychobabble. I'm not coming to you merely with captivating, colorful worlds, because Lord knows we have too many BS artists in the world. But I actually have been tested through the crucible, the fire of training and development, as a human being first and foremost, and as a professional practitioner. And when I talk about practitioner, I'm focusing on the craft of you design. What do I mean by you design? I mean all of us. By your being here on the receiving end of this message, it confirms to me that we are like-minded. We have kindred kinetic energy. We look at things with an opportunity to make better, to construct. We're not ones to entertain gossip, slander, talking about others, investing half of our energy resources towards eliminating our competition. We don't have to do that, because we know that we are the chosen one. We don't have to do that. And that's, as a side note, I have to point out, you know the difference between somebody worthy of your time and somebody who is a despicable me. In other words, I'm so busy developing vetted content that can be applied to your life, I don't have time to look over the fence and see what my prospective competitor is doing. So keep that in mind as we proceed forward in this 7th month of the year 2024. For today's message, I want to share with you something that's been really riveting, occupying my innermost being for quite some time. I've been really carrying this for the past week, waiting for the opportune time to deliver it. In fact, I would have delivered it yesterday, but things didn't kind of line up as I would have liked. But ultimately, there's a higher purpose at work. So on today, I want to talk on our Monday, a continuation of our theme, Monday Cafe. Coffee, grits, croissants, gotta love them French croissants, Kolaches, cannolis, and the most important element, you tell me, 24 karat caveats. Yes. So, let me begin with a direct question for you, and allow me to refer to my notes, because I want to keep consistently in tune, in step, and in line with the central message that's for you. I don't want to sit here and babble, because your time is too valuable. I want to deliver this potent message that will radically make you better as an innovator. Okay? So, what time is it in your location of impact and influence? Very important. We're talking about timing. I've mentioned it on one of my previous videos, rhythm in timing as a designer. See, here in my layer of innovation, it is currently, let's see, 2:00 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 2:00 on this first day of July. This message actually began as a failed attempt to commence into my official podcast episodes. A failed attempt, yes. Failure, absolutely not. Opportunity to learn, grow, advance, absolutely. Double thumbs up on that point. Double thumbs up. Yes, because failure is not always bad. Sometimes we have to fail to advance and evolve and become greater as human beings. So here in a failed attempt that has been transmuted into a priceless, invaluable crystal, if you please. A priceless gift that I have for you. Yes, I'm looking at you. Faithful and ever so loyal followers, patrons, and fans. Thank you. Associates, colleagues, and expected to become invaluable collaborators and compadres. I'm giving you privileged access, yes, to you. Privileged access. A continuation of the theme, yes. May you find and excavate some timeless truths, some golden wisdom points that can be applied to your life that will radically benefit you. A change of paradigm. Expected outcome is for you to literally become a more effective designer, design thinker. Yes, innovator par excellence. So yes. So here we are in a more secure, cozy, quiet, a bit jazzy, and surrealistic environment. My private office studio space. Critical, invaluable discussion point, yes. Perhaps of such great significance, it had to only take place. And going back to time and place, I would have liked to give it to you yesterday as part of my sidewalk chat when I did my daily usual walk in which I present a masterclass. But yesterday I kind of flipped it around a little bit and I did 2.5 miles. And I have to point out I did 2.5 miles, a walk in 30 minutes, little under 31 minutes. So I was really moving with purpose. So, becoming more potent and effective innovators, creative aficionados. And that's just a fancy term that means somebody who's so passionate about what they do in their craft that they come across, they communicate, they portray this energy of expertise. They know what they're talking about. You're not just speaking from the mind, you're speaking from the heart in step with the mental. Yes. So, what will I talk about in this message? Centers on a message that was unctioned from within, pressing on my heart, tugging away at my heart in mental, facultative energy forces. It occupied my mind once again for an overextended period of time. So this didn't come really easily. This is not something that's like a breath of air or a wind that fluttered across my earlobes. No, this is something that's been really nestled within and kind of, it's been germinating for quite some time. And it's taken time to really mature it. So this conversation comes on the heels of a conversation with one of my supporters and patrons. Yes. Who expressed to me a concern about feeling disgruntled as a designer. Not to say that that one lacks any essential skill sets. Certainly that person is skilled, highly gifted, have enormous talent, potentiality dormant within, just waiting to be tapped into and released. No, instead this block, this challenge was because that one had experienced what many of us, especially myself, have experienced, and I call it a innovation obstruction, a block to their innovative and creative energy forces. Yes, a creative block. Somehow, at some point, we know, if no one else is even slightly aware, we have shifted in the flow. Once operating at that point in posture that we were in before, feel like I am lacking the words to express. Perhaps you've been there, that the words don't seem to materialize. A few steps further to identify words and how to skillfully arrange and compose the right words to communicate that message. So now we're at little under 13 minutes. We're going to end part one right here. I'll see you in a moment in part two for the sake of uploading these riveting, resonating videos on social media. I'll see you in a bit.